So I guess what is this? Episode number 2 of a Doctor.
I just wanted to make something impressive out of it.
Episode 2 of a Doctor Who look, a comic book look presents. And so we're actually filming in the Doctor Who Look studio. So this is kind of the location we're going to be filming from coming in the near future. So we might put a video up and give a little video tour of it in the future. We haven't got anything like that quite filmed yet, but we'll get there. So I think first thing I kind of wanted to talk about is we went to the shop this weekend and spent a little bit of money on some figures at
the shop.
Well, a couple of shops.
So we're not talking about Rainbow Comics.
No.
The LCS local comic shop. What shops did
where did we go? We went to GameStop. We went to Hot Topic. And I must say Hot Topic was the most impressive with Doctor Who themed Funko Pop figures.
Yeah. Guys, it was awesome because we were at the console room convention past weekend, and I was like, I just really need to get a cap because I wear lots of caps and a comic book clips now. I got my Bad Wolf TARDIS hat, loving it, so it's finally cool to really kind of get my foot into the pool of Doctor Who, but in my style, so I really like that. But yeah, let's talk about the figures that we got here.
Well, of course, I am a big fan of Doctor Who, and when I got the opportunity, they were doing this buy one, get something 50% off, so it wound up being a little bit cheaper. So I got my own Pop Funk Doctor Who TARDIS action figure, number 227. Love it. The little door actually opens up. It's kind of fun. I thought that was kind of cool to have. I mean, what nerd doesn't need a TARDIS in their collection somewhere? And then, to go along with it, I figured, you have to have a Doctor. And I was kind of torn between the 11th Doctor and the 12th Doctor.
Yep.
And I wound up making the decision of going with the 12th Doctor. And what I did is I actually just randomly grabbed one off the shelf, and I didn't realize I got the 12th Doctor Hot Topic exclusive, where it's actually the 12th Doctor with his spoon from the Robots of Sherwood, where he fights Robin Hood with the spoon instead of a sword. And so I thought that was actually kind of a neat little surprise, so I was happy I got that. But then a little while later we were at GameStop. I kind of went a little crazy. And at GameStop they had this one. Now this one technically isn't Doctor Who, but I'm going to work it in there. They had a Locutus of Borg. And I had to get Locutus of Borg just because, Luke Picard, badass, turned into a Borg. Awesome. But when we were at Wizard, the console room, the weekend before, Gordon Purcell was there, and he has this comic that I had him sign. And it would have been really kind of cool if I got the 11th Doctor, because it's actually Doctor Who, and it's the Doctor signing, shaking hands with the Borg. So I thought, how cool would it be? I can kind of recreate the scene with the figures and have the comic on display behind it. So I thought that was kind of fun. Even though it's the 12th Doctor, I'm like, it's still kind of cool. And I totally forgot I even had this until I got home with the figures, so I thought that was kind of fun.
Well, unlike Ken, I of course worship all things evil and terrible, I guess. So I had some my own Hot Topic exclusives that I picked out. So first of all, you guys got the Cyberman Hot Topic exclusive figure. So I'm excited to add the Cyberman to my nerd room. Problem is I got to figure out where, so I'll report back to you on that. But the other one, of course, I love to kind of match what's behind me and also what's on my shirt. But I got the Weeping Angel pop figure as well. Also a Hot Topic exclusive, but definitely one of my favorite characters. Funny story, Ken found actually this one, and I told him that I was going to punch him in the nuts because I was so pissed off about it because I wanted it. And then there was actually another one anyways, and then he ended up not buying the other one, so I was like, yes. So I got what I wanted for sure. But tip for you guys, definitely keep your eyes out. We just randomly stopped in there and we're like, holy crap, there's vinyl figures of Doctor Who, which is awesome. So you never know what you're going to find. This all started with me having to go and what was I on a search for? The Scarecrow one or whatever.
Yeah, you were looking for the Scarecrow.
Yeah, so it was just completely random that we found it, and how awesome is that? And then I scored this sweet cap, so whatever. But anyways, keep your eyes open. Check it out on eBay if you're a collector of these items. They're pretty fun, so I'm excited to add these to my nerd cave. So thank you, Hot Topic, for making something that actually fits me. Thank you.
And I'm definitely going back for some more of the figures once I figure out which ones I want. They had a lot of exclusive ones. They had the number 10 David Tennant Doctor with the 3D shades.
You want them all.
Well, of course I want them all, but you know, I just thought it was kind of cool. I got the kind of variant Doctor, 12th Doctor.
You know what I want?
What?
More wine.
Well, we can hook you up with that. We have more wine. And tonight's episode is brought to you by Stella Rosa Platinum, proud sponsor of the show since 2010.
What? Since we filmed our first episode.
It seems like it's been that long.
Episode. All right. What are we talking about?
So today I thought, figure kind of an introduction to us and our viewpoints of Doctor Who. I figured we'd kind of keep it simple and just focus on New Who.
Yeah.
So we're going to ask 5 questions, and we're going to each give our answers to these 5 questions. We'll try and keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
Not a big long exposition. Just here's your answer and here's why, and that's it.
Yeah. Before we do that, I think we should have a 6th question on there. So we didn't even introduce ourselves or the show at the start of it.
Oh, we kind of suck like that, don't
we?
I'm Ken. I have been a Whovian for, I go back to the Tom Baker 4th Doctor on PBS. That's where my introduction to Doctor Who was. But when it came back in 2005, I was a huge fan of it. Granted, it wasn't on Netflix right away, so I didn't get to see it until it came out a few years later on Netflix, and then I binge watched the hell out of it. So, big fan of Doctor Who. Always try and introduce new people to it. That's how John got wrapped up into it, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Hi guys, I'm John, one of the co-presidents, CEOs of Comic Book Look. This is a new avenue of nerdery for me, but I'm totally loving it so far. So I started with the new Doctor Who. I guess I've tipped my foot into the pool of the classic Doctor Who episodes. It's whatever what was available on Netflix, but we just learned that there's a lot more on Hulu. So I'm excited to really get my learn on. The thing that really I'm kind of bummed about is that there's not like old versions of Weeping Angels in the previous episodes, which sucks. So I can tell you that I'm already in for a series of disappointments in that regard, but at the flip side, I am excited to get to see K9 in action, get to see some old Daleks, some of the old Cybermen, and how goofy they look. So I'm excited to check that kind of stuff out. Also seeing the TARDIS in black and white is always a hoot, so I'm okay with that too.
No argument there.
Yeah. All right, let's get to it.
Okay, so the 5 questions that we're going to answer are going to be number 1. Of the New Who, this is from, Christopher Echelon to Peter Capaldi. Yeah. Who's your favorite Doctor and why? And try and keep it down to just a few sentences.
Just a few sentences. So I actually, it's got to be David Tennant, dude, because some of the most iconic episodes that I experienced were during his run. So, you got the Angels in there, the Daleks, just the character interactions and the relationships that he built across the Doctor Who unparalleled. With any of the other ones, Matt Smith to me is a second, strong second place contender. But
you mean my good friend Matt over here?
I know.
I had to hang that one up.
I don't know. I'd probably have to say David Tennant, but Matt Smith actually was a pleasant surprise on the flip side too. He really grew on me. So, but yeah.
So mine would be Matt Smith, and the reason why is I love the energy he brought to it. Here he was playing.
You're on a picture with him.
Well, that wasn't why. I mean, I was a fan prior to that, but yes, that's very cool. I like the fact the energy he brought to it. Here he is. He's the oldest Doctor in the entire line, but he's the youngest actor to ever play it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of interesting the kind of way he brought the energy out in it, and kind of made him kind of silly and kind of goofy. And I kind of actually enjoyed that. He grew on me. I was really sad to see him go. Although, even though Capaldi's only had 1 season so far, he's starting to catch up. He's growing on me. I like the gruffer, more rebellious Time Lord. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, number 2. Favorite companion from the New Who and why?
That's hard. I know who. I mean, there's a couple really that aren't, so that's easy to narrow that down, I guess. I don't know. For me, I'd probably have to go with Donna because she's so random, and the Runaway Bride thing, is just a hoot. Seeing that cosplay at the con just kind of reaffirmed how awesome that character is to me. I personally wish I would have seen more of her. I thought that she kind of got slept on a little bit as a character, and I hope that she does come back or at least makes a cameo or something, because that'd be sweet. But seriously, hats off to that character.
I am going to have to agree with you on that. That is actually 100% who I was thinking. Donna Noble, the 3rd companion, even though she was technically before Martha Jones, but just in that one episode. favorite companion, because the thing about her that was a little different than Martha and Rose before hers, they were both, oh, Doctor, I'm in love with you. The entire time, Donna was like, I ain't taking shit from no alien. You're going to do what I say. She was very stern, and I liked that about her. Yeah. She was awesome. And the fact that the Dr. Donna was so sad, that I thought that was like the saddest episode, where here she had this chance. She was going to explore the universe forever, and it was all taken away from her. Yeah. So. Third question, who's your favorite villain/story arc from the new Who?
You already know the answer.
I'm going to say for you, Weeping Angel.
Best ever.
Mine is going to be a little more abstract because you never actually see it. The episode Midnight. It's a Donna Noble, David Tennant's episode. It's where he's on the planet. She stays back at the hotel. He rides the train across the surface of the planet, and the thing starts banging on the outside, and then the lady in the front starts repeating it, and that's so creepy because it's one where the Doctor actually becomes powerless and almost dies, and a human just randomly steps in and saves him. And that one actually, that one I watch it, and even as an adult, and I'm kind of like, that one kind of scares me. Even though I know he gets away from it, it's still a very kind of emotional episode for me. So Creature from Midnight. The
Creature from Midnight actually is the whole planet's supposedly like deserty and always light, but it's actually convoluted. It's actually surrounded in darkness, which is why Midnight was mentioned in the title of the episode. The creature on the outside of the train was clearly a series of weeping angels trying to get in.
Oh well, there you go. There's your theory. That they possess the lady.
Yes, they're soul assassins.
Okay, so then the next question is least favorite episode and why?
Believe it or not, my least favorite episode was the second appearance of Weeping Angels, because it wasn't as good as the first, right? It's always going to be hard to top it, right? But they're like, it just wasn't done well. Like, I was so giddy, you guys, but whenever the Daleks are on, I'm just happy from start to finish. With the Weeping Angels one, the second appearance, I was just like, the plot's like,
which one was the second? Was that the one where they were on the ship that crashed? The Time of Angels? Is that one?
Yes.
That one? With River?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And it was so hodgepodge and so bad. I think that the first episode, it was so focused on the angel, and that's what I liked about it. This time, it was like they were just being brushed to the side a little bit, and let's just throw a little angel on top of our cake. And that's it. Like, it just wasn't awesome like the first one was. And that, to me, was a huge turnoff. So, I was pretty pissed.
I'm going to actually go with, and this is one that gets a lot of shit online, the Zorbaloff from Series 2, Episode 10, Love and Monsters. Now, the thing, you have to take this episode with a grain of salt, that the monster was designed by, more wine, the monster was designed by a fan, and it was a younger fan, if I remember correctly. So, you got to give it a little bit of slack because of that. But all in all, it's not a really great episode. It's very limited Doctor-wise. It's got more Jackie Tyler than anything else, which, don't get me wrong, I love the actress who plays Jackie Tyler. I just, don't need a whole episode of Jackie Tyler. Yeah. But it was just very disappointing. And it ended on basically an oral sex joke with the guy's girlfriend gets turned into a floor tile, and her face is on it, and they talk, and how they still have romance. And that's like, ooh, kind of gross for a Doctor Who episode. So that has got to be my least favorite episode, and I don't recommend that one to anyone.
No.
But now, on the flip side, the last question, although we will have a bonus question, the last question is favorite episode and why. And
done.
I think we might actually have the same one on this one. What is your favorite episode? Blink?
Yeah.
The very first one. That is also my favorite episode, and one of the main reasons I think it's such a great episode is if you're going to introduce somebody into Doctor Who, the new Who, and you don't know where to start, and they don't necessarily start at the beginning, that one is so good.
I wouldn't.
You want to introduce them to that one?
No, to the very first.
No. The Rose is a little tough, unfortunately. Yeah. But if you introduce them to Blink, Blink is such a good introduction, because even though it's a very low-key Doctor Who episode, there's very little Doctor in it. It just shows the... Oh, sorry.
Whoa.
Oh, just her off. It just shows the uniqueness of the storytelling and the kind of character development they have and how it doesn't necessarily go in order. It's a fun episode, and it's a good episode, and it's a kind of scary episode. So it's probably... Blink, I would say, is a lot of people's favorite episode. So that has got to be my favorite. You agree?
You already know how I feel about that.
I know, yeah, you are such an Angel
Real
fan. Yeah, love the Angels.
Side of the Angels.
Bonus question. This one is, who do you think is the best side or slash part-time companion? And let me clarify this.
I know who you're talking about.
This would be, like the ones who just show up for one or two episodes or a few episodes. Like Captain Jack,
Okay.
I don't know.
This.
He might not be considered
I got
necessarily
this.
a companion.
Handles.
Handles. Handles.
That's it.
Handles. The Cyberman from the time, is it the Day of the Doctor, Time of the Doctor? Anyway, the Matt Smith's last episode.
Right. Handles.
I could see that. I could definitely see.
He was helpful, friendly, good customer service. Headless.
Mine
or headful.
Mine is a little twofold because I have two that I'm not sure. There's actually three of them.
What about Canine? But we're not talking.
We're not talking classic, although he did technically appear in New Who.
Right.
But we could almost do an entire episode on the whole Canine debacle because the whole reason he doesn't appear is because of like rights that the BBC didn't have to. Whole messed up story there, but we might get into that at another episode. But I had three of them, and then I'll just pick the one. I had Wilfred Mott, Donna Noble's grandfather. I think he qualifies as a companion, even though he was in a two-part episode. Yeah. He did appear in a couple other episodes. Jenny, even though she only appeared in one episode, the Doctor's daughter, her connection to the whole universe of Doctor Who, I think it would be awesome to have her brought back. Mm-hmm. And then the third one is the one that I picked as my favorite, Craig. Craig from The Lodger, the last episode of season, whatever Matt Smith's first season was, as well as he was in the last, almost second to the last episode of the second season that Matt Smith was in. And he's actually gone on, James Corbin, I'm horrible with names, so I do apologize if I butcher it. He's now got like the Late Show here in the States. He took over the Late Show. And he's funny, he was in the musical Into the Woods, and he's in Doctor Who, and he is actually probably one of my most favorite part-time companions I would love to actually see come back to Doctor Who.
Thanks.
Anyone else?
That's it for me, dude.
Well, that hopefully kind of introduces us a little bit, shows you our insight into New Who, and we're going to hopefully come at you, every couple of weeks with, new topics, new questions, new ideas. I have a whole new theory on like how they can bring Donna Noble back as the new Doctor, and we could have our first female Doctor and get Donna back in the seat, which I think would be really cool. But maybe that will be another episode. But yeah, definitely keep checking us out. Leave us comments. Let us know what you think. We want to tailor this to our fans and the people who are watching it. If you think that we're wrong on a point of view, definitely you can share your point of view with us. We don't judge anyone wrong. Just don't be a dick about it. That's our one rule. Don't be a dick.
Don't be an a-hole.
So there you go. Don't be a dick or an a-hole. So again, thanks for watching. This is the second episode. We really don't have an outline, so I'm just going to have to say...
No catchphrase?
No, we don't have one. What did we say last time?
You're the host. I'm just along for the ride.
I don't even see you on the flip side, I think is what we said last time. So I guess we'll see you on the flip side. Thanks for watching.